Hello guys, and welcome to the second video of today. In this video we're going to be going over to what is going on in the Western Pacific right now. As you can see here, we got Invest 98W and Invest 99W. So we're going to go over the specifics of Invest 98W first. It is located 10.2 north, 144.4 east. Maximum sustained winds are only at 15 knots, which is 20 miles an hour. Minimal central pressure is at 1,010 millibars, and environmental pressure is NA, radius of circulation NA, radius of maximum winds NA. So this is the model track guidance, and for some reason 98W has been up for the better part of 24 to 36 hours, and this is pretty much the only model plot that's up right now. So this yellow line, I don't even know what model this even is, but as you can see, it makes it up to a tropical storm, and then maybe a moderate tropical storm here at hour 192. But we don't usually go out more than 5 days. So right now, what it's looking at right now is 1,007 millibars, which is a tropical depression, pretty much. Not much to go off from there. Not really much to go off with the GEFS tracks and minimal MSLP either. Just some random lines for whatever reason, but this is probably the main one right here. And the strongest it gets is a 1,005 to 1,000 millibars, which I think it'll obviously get stronger than that, which we'll look at when we get to the GFS and the European models. Here's the GEPS, and this one is a lot stronger than the GEFS, which now it's reversed when it comes over to the West Pacific, because if you guys notice with Tropical Depression 17E, it was GEFS that was stronger than the GEPS, but here the GEPS and the GEFS are reversed. And as you can see, we got anywhere from 1,000 millibars to 980 millibars for this. So it's going to be interesting here, to say the least. And now here is Invest 99W, which is located 6.7 north, 128.0 east. Maximum sustained winds are also at 15 knots or 20 miles per hour. Gust is NA. Minimal central pressure is also at 1,010 millibars. Environmental pressure is NA. Radius of circulation is NA. Radius of maximum wind is NA. This one definitely has a few more plots than the 98W. As you can see, GFS takes a weird track here. It just goes northwest and then turns back to the west northwest, and then goes northwest again, and just to go straight to the south southeast, which is, I don't think that's going to happen. This gym model seems to be the most reliable one here when it comes to track. Here's a GEFS track, and it doesn't really do much with it. Which again, once we get to the GFS and European operational runs, that's going to show completely different story. So yeah, these plots are getting a little bit weird for some reason, even though they've been up there for a bit. As you can see here, as I was saying, the GEPS has this strengthening in the South China Sea, and that's probably where most of the strengthening is probably going to take place. It's probably not going to do much strengthening at all once towards the Philippines, but once it gets past the Philippines, I do believe that'll be prime state for intensification. How strong, we just don't know yet. All right, so here we are with the GFS operational model, and as you can see here, this is 98W right here, and what you see right here is 99W. So we're just, for the sake of having both on the screen, we're just going to stop at 30 hours. As you can see here, 98W is at 1,007 millibars, which is probably closing in on tropical depression status. And let's take a look at the sound here. It's only 12 knots of wind shear, which is pretty decent for development. and the relative humidity is 87%, which is pretty good for a developing tropical cyclone. And now we're going to take a look at soundings here. 7. Actually, no. Let's do a better one than that. Yeah, let's do it like this. Yeah, like that. 10 knots of shear, which is pretty good, and 82% in relative humidity. So this system, 99L, has a little bit lower of a relative humidity than 98 does. All right, so let's go out to 48 hours. And as you can see, that they're the same pretty much here at 1,006 millibars. Shear is 14 knots, and the relative humidity is staying about the same, 83%. What about 99? Only 2 knots of shear, so that's pretty good. 2 knots of shear will not do anything. 87% relative humidity, so the relative humidity is starting to go up a little bit with 99. Go to 72, and as you can see, now we're starting to get going here with 98W, which is that 1,000 millibars, which is a tropical storm. We're at, ew, but those knots are ugly, man. 25 knots. That's probably why it looks like that. All discombobulated and all that. Needs a little bit of time to tighten up a little bit. But relative humidity is still there, so 86%. 1,005 millibars for 99W here, which we can't take a look at for some reason. 96 hours. Now 98W is starting to get its act together here. But for some reason, it's strengthening in 21 knots of shear, which is not really ideal for tropical development. Relative humidity seems to be dropping as well, which is at 73%. And now we got another tropical storm here in 99W, according to the GFS, anyways. 6 knots of shear, which is excellent, and 81% of relative humidity. And then 120. And it looks like 99W is going to be making landfall, at least according to this run, at about 114 hours. So it could be a moderate to strong tropical storm at that point. Now, 98W, on the other hand, let's go out to a 120, is a pretty solid Category 1 typhoon here. And it's still doing this thing at 20 knots of shear. So I guess I don't know about the shear though, but the relative humidity is still pretty good. So we'll have to see how the shear works out here going forward, because 20 to 25 knots isn't really ideal for a strengthening typhoon. So like I said, I'll be keeping track of this for you guys, and if we have any landfalling threats like we do with 99W, I want to make sure that everybody stays safe, and all that good stuff. So now that we took a long look at the GFS, now we're going to take a look at the European models. And right now, 24 hours out, as you can see, there's 98W, that 1012, and that's 99W, that 1010 right there. 1010 for 98, 1007 for 99. So 99 is trying to get there now. Euro doesn't really strengthen 98 too quickly, so it's still at 1008. And then 99 is 1001 millibars, which is a weak tropical storm. And the Euro definitely is not enthused with 98W for some reason. And then we have whatever this random pop-up low pressure area here. And here's 120 hours, and as you can see, it's 99W is making its way towards the landfall, and 98W is still not really doing all that much. So we'll leave it at 120 hours, because normally I do not like to go past 120 hours if I don't have to. All right, so here is the sea surface temperatures, and as you can see, where these two systems are gonna be, it has plenty of warm waters to work with. Um, 31s, 30s, 29s. So the waters are still plenty warm enough in the Western Pacific for some pretty decent activity. Um, the weird thing is to me here, we had a period of time where the tropics around the world were completely dead, which is weird. I don't think I've seen that in a while. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong if something like this has happened recently, but not in recent times have I seen the tropics exactly dead with nothing on the board like I have in October. October has been a really weird month for tropical activity, and I think that we might be starting to roll with the ball here to continue through tropical seasons here. Anyways, once again, for the second time today, I want to thank you guys for watching. And I will be back again tomorrow with some more East Pac and West Pac news on the tropics. All right, thank you guys, and have a nice day.